Batting first for the Clovers, the left fielder, number 1, Garrett Moffitt. Batting second, the second baseman, number 2, Dave Morgan. Batting third, the center fielder, number 16, Cole Zach. Batting fourth, the third
Welcome to Jack D. Hughes Memorial Park and Friday night baseball between the Clayton Clovers and your Pineville Porcupines. First to the plate, the Clayton Clovers. We see number 1, Garrett Moffitt. And he fouls off the first one for an 0-1 count here. That one's outside to even up the count 1-1. As that one is chopped to second, thrown to first for out number 1 here. A little rain here today in Pineville, North Carolina, as today is bark in the ballpark. About 85 degrees, little rain, but no thunder or lightning, so we shall play on. Now we see number 2, Davey Morgan, as that's hit hard to third. Thrown to first to record out number 2 here. Now we see number 16, Cole Zach for the Clovers. As that one's a little low for ball 1, 1-0 count. As that one's down the middle to even up the count, 1-1. That's hit hard to right, and that will drop in for a base hit. As Cole Zach's heading for third, slides in safely. That's a triple for Cole Zach. So with that triple, we now see number 5, Mike Snyder, take the plate. So 2 outs, runner on third for the Clovers. Here's the first pitch. And that goes down for ball number 1 for Mike. As that one is fouled off behind us, teeing up the count 1-1. So 1-1 count here as Mike steps back up to the plate. And that's a swing and a miss to make it a 1-2 count. As that one is fouled off into the netting. Nathaniel Volk, number 28 on the mound tonight for the Porcupines. That one is a little low to even up the count 2-2 to Mike. As that one is a swing and a miss for strike 3, out 3 here. So we will see you in the bottom of the first when the Pineville Porcupines take the plate for the first time tonight. We'll see you then. Welcome back to Jack D. Hughes Memorial Park as the Porcupines take the plate for the first time tonight. We see number 8, Cameron Farrell.
We call her the Stallion. My friend would call her the Stallions. She was huge. We call that yeah. Yes, dude. She thought that? Yeah.
As that's a little low for ball number 1, 1-0 count to Cameron. That's down for strike number 1 to even up the count 1-1. So the rain's finally stopped here in Pineville, North Carolina, as we hope to get a full game in tonight. As that one's a little low, 2-1 count. As that one's hit hard to center. And a sliding catch out there. Sliding catch from center fielder number 16, Cole Zach, to record out number 1 here. So now we see number 23, Nick Curtis, step up to the plate. As that goes down for strike, making it a 0-1 count. As that one's a little low to even up the count 1-1. That one's a little outside. 2-1 count now here to Nick. As that one's going to be chopped to first, but foul. So 2-2 count here to Nick. As that's low for make it full count. And that's ball number 4 to put a Porcupine on first. So 1 out, 1 runner on first. We now see number 21, Jackson Hughes. As that one's a little low to make it 1-0 count. As that one's thrown back to first, but Nick slides in there safely. So as Jackson steps back to the box with a 1-0 count. As that is fouled off. To even up the count 1-1 now. As that one's down for strike number 2, 1-2 count. As that one is hit down third baseline, but foul. So as Jackson steps back up to the plate, he's looking at a 1-2 count. As that is also hit hard, but fouled down the third baseline. So 1-2 count. Nick goes. And he slides in, but he is safe. So stolen base for number 23, Nick Curtis. So as Jackson steps back up to the plate, looking at a even 2-2 count with Porcupine in scoring position now. As that one's going to hit the ump. We hope he's all right. So as the ump gets checked on here, hope he's all right. Special thanks to Carolina Scoops, the official ice cream of your Pineville Porcupines. So the rain's finally stopped here in Pineville, North Carolina. Around 82 degrees now. It's cooled it off here a little bit. So if you're just joining into the broadcast, it's the bottom of the first inning. Still 0-0 game here. As right now, the umpire is getting checked on. Got hit there on the last pitch. So now we see number 31, Ethan McClain for the Porcupines. As runners on first and second, one out here. And that one's in the dirt, and it will advance the runners for the Porcupines. So now runners on second and third. And 1-0 count here to Ethan McClain. As that one's hit hard down the right field line, and that is fair. And that will score in 2 for the Porcupines. As early start here for the Porcupines, now have a 2-0 lead over the Clovers. Big hit by Ethan McClain there. So now we see number 34, Chris Manriquez, step up to the plate. As that one's going to be hit to right. But that is caught for out number 2 here.
Now batting number 24, Louis Palillo.
So with 2 outs, runner on first. Now we see number 24, Louis Palillo, step up to the plate. As that one's going to be inside for ball number 1, 1-0 count. As that one's going to be hit to third and thrown to first for out number 3 here. So after the first inning, the Porcupines take the early lead 2-0 over the Clayton Clovers. So we will see you in the top of the second inning when the Clovers take the plate again. We'll see you then. So welcome back to Jack D. Hughes Memorial Park as the Porcupines take an early 2-0 lead over the Clayton Clovers. So first up for the Clovers, we see number 37, Braden Davidson. As that one's in for strike number 1. As that one's fouled off into the netting. So 0-2 count here to Braden Davidson. As that one's a swing and a miss. Strike number 3, out number 1 here. So now we see number 32, Jackson Dunlap. As that one's hit to right. And will be caught for out number 2 here. So now we see number 24, JoJo Allen, step up to the plate here for the Clovers. As that's ball number 1 to make it a 1-0 count. As that one's high for a 2-0 count. So that's going to be a little low to now make it a 3-0 count. Here to JoJo. Does he get the green light here to swing? Then he lets that one go by for strike number 1. So now we see a 3-1 count. As that one goes by to make it a full count now. as that one's down for strike three, out three. So after the top of the second inning, Pineville Porcupines still have a 2-0 lead over the Clovers. We'll see you in the bottom of the second when the Porcupines take the plate again for the second time tonight. See you then. Welcome back to Jack T. Hughes Memorial Park. We see number 13, Cam Murray, step up to the plate here for the Porcupines. As that one's going to be low for a 1-0 count. And that is hit. And it's going to go past the shortstop for a base hit for Cam. So now we see number 11, Emerson Munbaran. So no outs here, runner on first. As that one's inside for a 1-0 count. As that one's outside and into the dirt for a 2-0 count. Cam was thinking about taking second. As that one's a little low, so 3-0 count to Emerson. Does he get the green light here to swing with the runner on first? And he shows bunt. And that will be down for strike number 1 to now make it a 3-1 count. As that one's inside. Ball number 4. So Porcupines will have runners at first and second now. And we see number 20, Gray Mitchell. As now it looks like the Clayton Clovers are going to have a little meeting on the mound here. Discuss things over with no outs and Porcupine runners at first and second. as that ends the meeting on the mound for the Clovers. So after that, we see number 20, Gray Mitchell. As he shows bunt there. And that is going to go by the catcher. So runners will advance to second and third. So 1-0 count to Gray as that one's inside to make it a 2-0 count. As that one's fouled off. So 2-1 count to Gray. As that one's hit up the middle for a base hit, and that will score in 2 runs for the Porcupines. So the Porcupines now have a 4-0 lead over the Clovers after that single hit for Gray Mitchell. So now we see number 8, Cameron Farrell, step up to the plate. As Gray has a pretty good leadoff at first. And that one's in for ball number 1, so 1-0 count. And Cameron shows bunt, and that goes by to even up the count 1-1. As that one's inside, let's now make it a 2-1 count. As Cameron calls time there. And that was going to be hit to left center. And that's going to be caught for out number 1. So with 1 out, 1 on, we now see number 23, Nick Curtis, step up to the plate. As that one's down for strike number 1. As that one is popped up into foul territory. So 0-2 count now to Nick. As Gray is still on first, showing a pretty good leadoff. And there's the pitch. It's hit to second, thrown to first, and thrown back to second or first for the double play. So that will end the bottom of the second inning as the Pineville Porcupines strike first for a 4-0 lead over the Clayton Clovers. So we will see you in the top of the third. See you then. Welcome back to the broadcast. We see number 4, Alexander Levesque. As that one's down for a 1-0 count. So that one evens up the count 1-1. And that one's going to be a little low, 2-1 count to Alexander. As that one's inside to make it a 3-1 count now. As that one's hit hard to third and thrown to first for out number 1. Good play there by Gray Mitchell to throw it to first, Ethan McLean. So now we see number 6, Zach Zoltowski. As that one's down for strike number 1. As that one's going to be hit to left and caught for out number 2. So now we see number 1, Garrett Moffitt. As that one's going to be a little low to make it a 1-0 count. As that's hit this short and thrown to first for out number 3. So the Pineville Porcupines still have a 4-0 lead over the Clayton Clovers, as we will see you in the bottom of the 3rd. As that one makes it a 2-0 count to Jackson. And that's hit to third and mishandled, thrown to first. And that will be out number 1 here. So now we see number 31, Ethan McLean. As that's hit hard to right, and that will drop down for a base hit. So Ethan McLean on first. And now we see number 34, Chris Manriquez.
Number 34, Chris Manriquez.
As that's hit to center. We caught for out number 2.
Now batting number 24, Louis Palito.
So with 2 outs, runner on first, we now see number 24, Louis Palillo. As that's chopped down the third base line, but foul. So 0-1 count to Louis. As that one's going to be a little low to even up the count, 1-1. As that's hit to right. And that will drop for a base hit for Louis as he's heading to go to second. And Ethan goes home. And we'll be out. So the Pineville Porcupines still have a 4-0 lead over the Clayton Clovers. As we will see you in the top of the 4th inning. We'll see you then. So welcome back to Jack D. Hughes Memorial Park as Pineville Porcupines have a 4-0 lead over the Clayton Clovers. We see number 2, Davey Morgan, step up to the plate for the Clovers here. As that's going to be hit to third. But that will be a foul ball. So 0-1 count here to Davey. as that one's high to even up the count 1-1. As that one is fouled off behind us to now make it a 1-2 count here to Davy. As that one is popped up to shallow right and will be caught to record out number 1.
Now batting number 16, Cole, Zach.
So with 1 out, no one on, we now see number 16, Cole Zach. As that one's outside to make it a 1-0 count.
That's a nasty gun.
Yeah, really crossing the So he played in the G League, G League 9.
Yeah.
It's like a special team just for kids coming out of high school.
As that one's hit to right,
Almond or
Foul.
that will barely drop foul.
Eamon and
They were in
what was the other Almer?
overtime league.
Oh yeah, let's see the league.
That one's a lot worse than G League.
Yeah, what is that? That's for Dylan. Dylan.
So special thanks to Margot's Wine, Pizza, and Market.
Overtime league. It's like this weird. I don't know. It's stupid. I think the choices you could go to college, you go G League. I don't know.
Yeah.
So 1-1 count here as Cole steps back into the box. As that one's outside. So 2-1 count to Cole.
Eamon's the better one. Dude, his finishing, like the videos and finishing is really like Kyrie, bro.
Who's the guy that got drafted by the Magic?
Oh, yeah, Anthony Black saw him.
So 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. And that one's going to even up the count 2-2. As that one is skied high. And that's going to be caught by Cameron Farrell to record out number 2. So now we see number 5, Mike Snyder. As that one's down for strike number 1. As that one's hit to short. And we'll get in there for a base hit. So now we see number 37, Braden Davidson, with 2 outs, runner on first for the Clovers. We want to give a special thanks to Hilton Garden Inn and Hampton Inn, the official hotel of the Pineville Porcupines. As that one's hit foul. So 0-1 count. As that one gets away to even up the count 1-1. As that one's down and into the dirt. And runner will not advance. So now as Braden steps back into the box, he's looking at a 2-1 count. As that one is low and into the dirt to now make it a 3-1 count.
Need a lot more, dude. 3-1's not good. 2 race. We have 3-2 with Brady. Just gonna go up from there.
So if you're just joining into the broadcast, the Pineville Porcupines struck early, have a 4-0 lead over the Clayton Clovers. As Braden steps back up to the plate with a 3-1 count, here's the pitch. And that will be ball number 4 to now load the Clovers at first and second. So now we see number 32, Jackson Dunlap, with Clover runners first and second. As that one's outside to make a early 1-0 count. And that one's going to be hit to center, but will be caught for out number 3 here. So as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning, Porcupines still have a 4-0 lead over the Clovers. We'll see you then. Welcome back to Jack D. Hughes Memorial Park. If you're just joining the broadcast, the Porcupines have a 4-0 lead over the Clovers. So we see number 13, Cam Murray, step up to the plate here in the bottom of the 4th inning. As that one's low to make it a 1-0 count. As that one's hit, and it will go down past the shortstop for a base hit for Cam. Here to start off the bottom of the fourth. So no outs, runner on first. We now see number 11, Emerson Monbaron. As that one's going to be a little high for a 1-0 count. As that's hit up the middle, and that will be another base hit. So Porcupines now load them up at first and second. So no outs, runners first and second. We now see number 20, Gray Mitchell.
I think she just went back there. She's at one. She's supposed to take a step away right now, so that's what she's probably done.
As Gray shows bunt there. But that is a ball to make it a 1-0 count. As Gray shows bunt again. That will be fouled down the first base line. So 1-1 count here to Gray.
You guys want to start a drop shipping business? Sort of like the other way around.
As Gray shows bunt again. And that was a perfectly placed bunt back to the pitcher to advance the runners to second and third. So sacrifice bunt for Gray Mitchell. And now we see number 8, Cameron Farrell. So 1 out. Porcupines runners at second and third. As that one's going to be hit to right. But that lands just barely foul. So as Cameron steps back into the box, he's now looking at a 0-1 count. As that one's going to be outside to now even up the count 1-1. As that is low and into the dirt. And Cam Murray will slide in safely at home to now make the score 5-0 over the Clovers. So Emerson Monbaron will advance to third. And Cam Murray scores in another run here in the bottom of the fourth inning. So now they are discussing things over with the umpire as he got hit in the leg there after that slide. Special thanks to Tailored Hair Salon, the official hair salon of your Pineville Porcupines. So now after that minor delay, we now see number 8, Cameron Farrell, as he has a 2-1 count. And that was hit to second, thrown to first for out number 2.
Now batting number 23, Nick Curtis.
So 2 outs, runners still on third for the Porcupines. We now see number 23, Nick Curtis. As that one's going to be a little low to make it a 1-0 count. As that's a swing and a miss to even up the count, 1-1.
Yeah. He said he's 6.
As that one's down and into the dirt, but stopped by the catcher to make it a 2-1 count to Nick.
It's just because I wanted one of the gray backwoods, but they sold out. So I ended up getting a gray one. With the light gray.
As that one's going to be hit to left, but caught for the third out. So as we move to the top of the 5th inning, the Pineville Porcupines 5, the Clayton Clovers 0. We'll see you in the top of the 5th. Welcome back to the broadcast. We see number 24, JoJo Allen for the Clovers. As that one's inside to make it a 1-0 count. And that one's going to be popped up to shallow right and caught for out number 1.
Now batting number 4, Alex Levis.
So now we see number 4, Alexander Levesque. As that one's low to make it a 1-0 count. And that one's going to be hit to right, and that will fall in for a base hit.
Now batting number 6, Zach Zolkowski.
So now we see number 6, Zach Zolkowski. And that's thrown back to first, but Alexander will get there safely. So that one's inside to make it a 1-0 count. And that one's hit the left and caught. And thrown back to first to get the double play there. So big play for the Porcupines there. As the Porcupines still have a 5-0 lead over the Clovers, as we will see you in the bottom of the 5th inning. Welcome back to Jack D. Hughes Memorial Park,
21, Jackson.
as we see number 21, Jackson Hughes, step up to the plate here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Porcupines have a 5-0 lead over the Clayton Clovers.
haven't even seen like a basis juice one out and nothing.
I give a special thanks to physical therapy, the official physical therapy of your Pineville Porcupines.
Tomorrow I'll wake up early, go unpack, or go pack up my equipment in the market.
So Jackson, after that minor delay, steps back to the plate here.
Yeah, I went to bed at like 12 last night, like right when I got home. I got back home.
As that one's down for strike number one.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna wake up early, because that's what I usually do.
I think I woke up at like 1 and I woke up at 9:30.
And that one's called safe to make it an even 1-1 count.
I told him whenever we get 2 outs, I'll just leave that 1 out to you, hopefully. Oh, we're cold strike. You call it a strike? Yeah, 1-2.
I was up to the ball on.
So 1-2 count to Jackson. As that one's down for strike number 3, and we'll record the first out.
Now batting number 31.
As now we see number 31, Ethan McLean, step up to the plate here.
No.
As that one's going to be a little low to make it a 1-0 count. As that one's outside to make it a 2-0 count. As that one's popped high to center. And will be caught for out number 2 here.
Now batting number 34, Chris Manriquez.
So with 2 outs, no one on, we now see number 34, Chris Manriquez. As that one's high and inside for a 1-0 count.
What's it on? Hulu? HBO Max? Dude, I forgot how fun it was.
That one's fouled off.
This funny scene with like the ball hit.
Even it up, 1-1.
You suck and you know it, Jacob. It's so funny, just like sensitive.
As that one's a little low to make it a 2-1 count. Here to Chris. As that one's hit hard into the gap into left. And that will be a base hit for Chris Manriquez.
Now batting number 24, Louis Palillo.
So 2 outs. Porcupine runner at first. We now see number 24, Louis Palillo. As that one's high and inside to make it a 1-0 count. As that one's down for strike number 1 to even up the count 1-1. As that one's low to make it a 2-1 count. And that one's going to be high to make it a 3-1 count to Louis. As that is going to be ball number 4 for a walk to load up the Porcupines at first and second.
Now batting number 13, Cam Murray.
So 2 outs, runners at first and second. We see number 13, Cam Murray. And that one's going to be fouled off behind us. So 0-1 count. As that one's a little low to even up the count 1-1. That one is down for strike number 2. So Cam's now looking at a 1-2 count here. As that one's going to be fouled off. I want to give a special thanks to Carolina's Chiropractic, the official chiropractic of your Pineville Porcupines. So Cam, looking at a 1-2 count. As that is hit to center. And that will drop to score in another Porcupine. So now the Porcupines 6, the Clovers nothing.
Now batting number 11, Emerson Montgomery.
So after that, 2 outs, runners at first and second. We see number 11, Emerson Munbaron. As that one's going to be outside to make it a 1-0 count. As that one's high to make it a 2-0 count to Emerson. As that one's going to be low, and it will advance the runners to second and third. So 2-0 count to Emerson. 2 outs, and Porcupine runners at second and third. As that's going to be strike number 1. So 3-1 count to Emerson. Here's the pitch. And that's going to be high to walk him.
Now batting number 20, Gray
So
Mitchell.
bases loaded now here. And 2 outs, and we see number 20, Gray Mitchell. As there's going to be a Clayton Clovers meeting on the mound. So there will be a new pitcher for the Clayton Clovers. So we're going to see number 30, Shea DeFalco, on the mound, as it is a call to the bullpen for the Clayton Clovers. So we want to give a special thanks to Hilton Garden Inn and Hampton Inn, the official hotel of the Pineville Porcupines. And if you are just joining into the broadcast, the Porcupines struck early and still working their magic here, as they are up 6-0 over the Clayton Clovers. So after that pitching change, bases loaded for the Porcupines, and number 20, Gray Mitchell, stepping up to the plate here. As that goes down for strike number 1. As that is going to be hit to short and thrown to first for out number 3. But the Pineville Porcupines still have a 6-0 lead over the Clayton Clovers. As we will see you in the top of the 6th inning. See you then. Welcome back to Jack D. Hughes Memorial Park as the Porcupines have a 6-0 lead over the Clayton Clovers. We now see a substitution, number 17, Jack Starkey, batting for the Clovers.
Is that a ball neck?
Yeah, it was a ball.
What? Sure.
That's going to be popped up. For out number 1. So now we see number 2, Davey Morgan. As that one's going to be fouled off behind us. So that one's going to be low to even up the count 1-1. That one's hit hard to center. But we'll be caught to record out number 2 here.
Just let me know.
So with 2 outs, no one on, we see number 16, Cole Zach. As that's chopped to first, but will be foul. So 0-1 count to Cole.
I almost wanted to keep pulling until I looked up and that kid was already halfway back. But one time I knew the kid was also strong and swung around after like 4 spins.
As that one's outside to even up the count 1-1.
I mean, that's
As check swing called strike to make it a 1-2 count.
bro, you better make it quick. Oh my god, I need to replace this. It's a new pigeon. That's not. Oh, it's not.
As that one's outside to even up the count again, 2-2.
They run new pitcher, but I switched it. And they suck out a battery. Fuck yeah. Some kid genius over here. Fuck yeah.
As that's a swing and a miss for strike 3, out 3. So the Pineville Porcupines still have a 6-0 lead over the Clayton Clovers, as we will see you in the bottom of the 6th inning. So welcome back to Jack D. Hughes Memorial Park as we see number 8 Cameron Farrell step up to the plate as the Porcupines still hold a 6-0 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning. As the first pitch is inside to make it a 1-0 count.
First pitch was a ball. What flavors? We're using strawberry peach. I got a strawberry.
As that one's low to make it a 2-0 count.
Yeah, I already did.
So 2-0 count to Cameron. As that one's high and inside to make it a 3-0 count. So will Cameron get the green light here to swing with a 3-0 count? Here's the pitch. And that one's high to make it ball number 4, so that is a walk.
Number 23, Nick Curtis.
So no outs, runner on first. We see number 23, Nick Curtis. As that's down for strike number 1. As that one's in for strike number 2. So 0-2 count. As that's in for strike number 3. And the first out.
21, Jackson Hughes.
So now we see number 21, Jackson Hughes. With 1 out, runner still at first. As that's down for strike number 1. As runner goes, as that is hit up the middle for a base hit. As runner will go to third.
Now batting number 31, Ethan Clayton.
So runners at second and third, 1 out, and we see number 31, Ethan McLean, step up to the plate.
Oh my God. I said that. Jesus God.
As that makes it a 1-0 count.
Oh my Lord.
As that's called strike number 1 to even up the count, 1-1. As that is down and into the dirt. And that will score in another run for the Porcupines. As Cameron Farrell comes in at home. And it is now a 7-0 lead for the Pineville Porcupines. As that also advances the runner from second to third. So runner at third now. As that one's outside to make it a 3-1 count to Ethan.
I just want to get it. Good job. Finish 3-1.
As that one's outside for ball number 4, so that's going to be a walk. So Porcupine runners on the corners now, first and third with 1 out. And now we see number 34, Chris Manriquez, step up to the plate. So that one's going to be popped up to first. And that will be caught for out number 2.
Now that is number 24, Louis Alilo.
So 2 outs, runners still on the corners. We see number 24, Louis Palillo, step up to the plate. As that's hit to third and thrown almost over the first baseman's head, but he still makes the out for out number 3. But the Porcupines struck early and still striking their magic as they are up 7-0 over the Clayton Clovers. Welcome back to Jack D. Hughes Memorial Park as we see number 5, Mike Snyder. Here in the top of the 7th inning, Porcupine 7, Clayton Clovers 0. That one's a swing and a miss for strike 1. That one's outside, even up the count 1-1. As that one's low to make it a 2-1 count. Special thanks to Spare Time Bowling, the official bowling of the Pineville Porcupines. As that one's hit to right center, and that will fall in for a base hit. And that will be a stand-up double for Mike Snyder. So now we see number 37, Braden Davidson.
Nothing's funnier than a mom gets kicked out of dad and then dad laughs about it. That's the kind of husband I think helped me. Just won't take things serious enough to the point where I actually get mad back.
As that one's high and inside. So 1-0 count. That one's low to make it a 2-0 count. As that one's a swing and a miss, record strike number 1. So Braden looking at a 2-1 count now. Runner in scoring position at second.
Here we go.
And that is called time by Braden Davidson. As Mike Snyder had a pretty good lead off at second.
What about doing that when you time an actual game? It's like another guy just talking shit to me, I'm not paying for a picture.
As that one is hit to left, it will be caught for out number 1. So now we see number 32, Jackson Dunlap, step up to the plate here for the Clovers, with Mike Snyder still on second. As that one will be in for strike number 1. As that one's hit up the middle. But he will get to first safely, putting runners on the corners, first and third for the Clovers. So with 1 out, runners on the corners, we see number 24, JoJo Allen. As that one's outside to make it a 1-0 count. That one's going to be a little low. So 2-0 count here to JoJo. We're just joining into the broadcast. The Pineville Porcupines have a 7-0 lead over the Clayton Clovers. As that pitch is down in for strike number 1 to make it a 2-1 count to JoJo. as that one is popped up to right center, but caught and thrown home. So that will make it 2 outs. And the Clayton Clovers will get on the board here in the top of the 7th. So now we see number 4, Alexander Levesque. As runner goes to second, and the throw, he's in there safely. So Jackson Dunlap, stolen base, he is in there safely at second, as Alexander steps back into the box here with the 0-1 count. As that one is called strike 2 to make it an 0-2 count. As that one is hit to center and will drop in and thrown home. So that is a double to now make it 7-2 Porcupines. And now we see number 6, Zach Zatolski. As that one's inside to make it a 1-0 count. As that one's high to make it a 2-0 count. And that one's a swing and a miss to make it a 2-1 count. Here to Zach with runner on second and 2 outs. Here's the pitch. As that one's a little low to now make it a 3-1 count to Zach. As that is a swing and a miss to make it a full count now. As that is ball number 4 to now make it a walk. So Clayton Clovers have runners on first and second now. So now we see number 17, Jack Stark. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. That's going to be a little high to make it a 1-0 count. As that one's outside to make it a 2-0 count. That one's down for strike number 1. So looking at a 2-1 count. As that's a swing and a miss. So even count 2-2. As that one's a little high to now make it a full count here.
Have you seen the Pat McAfee show? He always does that. It's like, what? We're gonna have to dress up as Spidey this year for that. For your car keys. You see what Brock Lesnar impersonates him?
As that is fouled off into the netting.
Did he do that one Pat McAfee? I think so. I think he may have. He slings like this like headset. Breaks the table too. Yeah, that's Pat McAfee. Yeah. That's hilarious. My brother always listens to that podcast.
So full count, 2 outs, runners on first and second, as that is skied to right, but that is foul.
I listened to Shane Gillis' podcast. Yeah.
I was at the Caleb Presley too.
Oh, that was so fun.
I was like, this kid about
Yeah.
I like a little lot of
So still a full count here, as that ball is hitting the foul territory. As that one's inside for ball number 4. And that will be bases loaded for the Clayton Clovers. So 2 outs, bases loaded. And a little meeting on the mound here for the Porcupines. Special thanks to Click Marketing, the official marketing of the Pineville Porcupines. So if you're just joining into the broadcast, the Pineville Porcupines have a 7-2 lead over the Clayton Clovers here in the top of the 7th. As a little meeting on the mound ends here, and play shall resume here shortly. As we see number 2, Davey Morgan, step up to the plate with bases loaded. As that one's outside and making an early 1-0 count. As that one's a little low to make it a 2-0 count. That one's high and inside. So a 3-0 count now. As that one is low. And it walks in a run for the Clovers. So now Porcupines have a 7-3 lead.
One of the funniest podcasts is now batting number 16, Cole Zach.
So now 2 outs, base is still loaded. We see number 16, Cole Zach. As that one's inside to make it a 1-0 count. That's also inside to make it a 2-0 count. As that is down for strike number 1 to make it a 2-1 count. As that is popped up and will be caught by Gray Mitchell for out number 3. So as we go into the bottom of the 7th inning, Pineville Porcupines 7, Clayton Clovers 3. We'll see you then. Welcome back to Jack D. Hughes Memorial Park as we see number 13, Cam Murray, step up to the plate here in the bottom of the 7th inning. As that one is inside and in the dirt for a 1-0 count. Just joining into the broadcast, the Pineville Porcupines have a 7-3 lead over the Clayton Clovers. As that one is outside to make it a 2-0 count. As that's down for strike number 1 to make it a 2-1 count. As that's a swing and a miss to even up the count here, 2-2. As that's down for strike number 3 and out number 1. So now we see number 11, Emerson Munbaran. As that one's high to make it a 1-0 count.
I think he's alright. I thought it was low too.
As that one's also high to make it a 2-0 count here to Emerson. As Emerson calls time, looks like a bug might have flown into his eye. And that one's outside to make it a 3-0 count. So will Emerson get the green light here to swing on a 3-0 count? And he lets it go by as it's high for a walk.
Now batting number 20, Gray Mitchell.
So with 1 out, 1 runner on, we now see number 20, Gray Mitchell.
15. It was 11.
As that one's inside to make it a 1-0 count.
It was only like 7 last night.
As that one's thrown back to first, but Emerson gets back to the bag safely. As that one's down and into the dirt, but the catcher stops it before it gets too far. And that will be a 2-0 count. As the Clovers call for a little meeting on the mound here to discuss things over with 1 out, 1 runner on. So after that short meeting on the mound, Gray Mitchell will step back into the box with a 2-0 count. As that's hit hard and will be a base hit into right. As Porcupines now have runners on first and second. As we now see number 8, Cameron Farrell, step up to the plate. As that's down and in for strike number 1. So 1 out, runners on first and second. No 1 count. Here's the pitch. As that's hit hard down the first base line, and that will be a hit. And that will score in another run for the Porcupines. So Emerson Munbaran comes in to score, now making it a 8-3 lead over the Clayton Clovers. So with 1 out, runners on the corners, we now see number 23, Nick Curtis. As that one will be thrown back to first. As runner goes. And he goes around him to be safe at second.
Injury ball.
So runner still's there. To Porcupine runners at second and third now. So it looks like the pitcher wants a new ball.
Yeah, little bitch. Oh shit, Helen. That's too late.
So after that change there, a 1-0 count to Nick as he steps back into the box. As that is down in for strike number 1 to even up the count 1-1. As that one's high. So now make it a 2-1 count. As that one is hit fouled. Two and 2 count as Nick steps back into the plate. And that is down into the dirt. Runners will stay at second and third. So now we're looking at a full count here. As that is hit hard to center. Will be caught. Runner will tag up and slide in safely to now make it a 9-3 game. Porcupines over the Clovers.
Now batting number 21, Jackson Hughes.
So now we see number 21, Jackson Hughes. Runner on second for the Porcupines and 2 outs here. As that's hit up the middle. And will be thrown to first for out number 3 here. So as we head to the top of the 8th inning, Porcupines 9, Clayton Clovers 3. We'll see you in the top of the 8th. So welcome back to the broadcast. We now see number 5, Mike Snyder, step up to the plate for the Clovers here in the top of the 8th inning. As that one is fouled off to make it an 0-1 count. If you're just joining in, the Porcupines have a 9-3 lead over the Clovers. As that one's down for strike number 2 to make it an 0-2 count to Mike. As that's going to be down for strike number 3, out number 1 here.
Now batting number 37, Brayden Davidson.
So now with 1 out, no one on, we now see number 37, Brayden Davidson. As that's a swing and a miss for strike number 1. It's a swing and a miss for strike number 2, 0-2 count. Here to Brayden. As that's a swing and a miss for strike number 3, out number 2 here. So with 2 outs, no one on, we now see number 32, Jackson Dunlap. As that's a swing and a miss for strike number 1. That one's going to be inside to even up the count, 1-1. As that one's hit hard into right for a base hit. So Jackson Dunlap with a single. As now we see number 24, JoJo Allen.
24, JoJo Allen.
Screw his foot up like that, like Jamal Crawford.
Yeah.
I bet they're never letting him play in pro-ams again. Everybody's so, I don't know as you did. You start playing and you're on the second pro-am. After you,
As that one's inside for a 1-0 count. So now we see a 2-0 count here. That's hit hard to third. Gray gets that and throws it to first for out number 3. So good play there by Gray Mitchell. Throw it to Ethan McLean for out number 3. So Porcupines 9, Clovers 3. We'll see you in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Batting number 33.
Welcome back to the broadcast. As we see number 33, Eli Shanice, as a substitution batter here for the Porcupines in the bottom of the 8th inning. As that is down, so 1-0 count. As that is hit hard. That will be foul. So now a 1-1 count here to Eli. As that one's high to make it a 2-1 count. As that is low and inside to make it a 3-1 count here to Eli. And that is fouled off and into the netting to make it a full count now. And that is high and inside for ball number 4, so that is a walk. So now we see another substitution, number 14, Jacob Ham, with a runner on first. That one's going to be high, so 1-0 count. As that one's low to make it a 2-0 count. And now we're going to have another meeting on the mound for the Clovers. And that was a quick meeting just to talk things over here. As Jacob steps back into the box.
I saw a tweet of the girl that said she saw this tweet.
As that pitch is high to make it a 3-0 count. Does Jacob get the green light here to swing with no outs? And he lets that go down for strike 1, so 3-1 count. As that's down and into the dirt for ball number 4. And that will be a walk. So runners on first and second, no outs. And we see number 24, Louis Palillo. And that's another meeting on the mound here for the Clayton Clovers. So special thanks to Hilton Garden Inn and Hampton Inn, the official hotel of the Pineville Porcupines. As they will not call to the bullpen, they will leave him in And Louis will come back up to the plate.
Look, buddy, you got it. Respect, okay? It's like a dude from South Park, the counselor.
That's a 1-0 count. As that is popped up to right. And will be caught for out number 1.
I know, I'm sorry.
So runners on first and second for the Porcupines. We now see number 13, Cam Murray. As that one's inside, 1-0 count. As that one is a swing and a miss to even up the count, 1-1. As that one's down for strike number 2. So Cam is now looking at a 1-2 count, 1 out, runners on first and second for the Porcupines. Here's the pitch. And that one's going to be fouled off.
My favorites are when they bring in Mickey Mouse. He's so funny when they bring in this. When Randy goes and shines the fucking penguin, and then that's what starts COVID.
So 1-2 count. And that's going to hit Cam to load up the bases. So with only 1 out, the bases are loaded here for the Porcupines. And we're going to see number 11, Emerson Munbaran. So with bases loaded, Clayton Clovers are doing another meeting on the mound here. There's been quite a few of those tonight, as there looks like there's going to be a call to the bullpen. So if you're just joining into the broadcast, the Pineville Porcupines have a 9-3 lead over the Clayton Clovers here in the bottom of the 8th inning. As there's a new pitching change for the Clovers. And we shall resume play here shortly as he takes a couple warm-up pitches. Welcome back to the broadcast.
It's the Coker fags.
As Emerson's now looking at a 0-1 count.
What's the problem? I mean, they just fucking walked in and didn't knock or anything. They are clean. Clean song, dog. This whole song is clean version. Just gonna turn on the. You just don't like the song because I should just play the race car, dog. Yeah. Oh, it's
As that's hit up the middle and thrown to first. So that's out number 3. Porcupines still have a 9-3 lead over the Clovers, as we will see you in the top of the 9th. Welcome back to the broadcast. If you're just joining in, the Porcupines have a 9-3 lead over the Clovers.
Now batting number 4, Alex Levis.
Now we see number 4, Alexander Levesque. As that one is high to make it a 1-0 count. So evens up the count, 1-1.
Tell me your t-shirt's wide.
So that now makes it a 2-1 count. As that is down and in for a strike to even up the count, 2-2 to Alexander. Here in the top of the 9th inning. New pitcher for the Porcupines, number 9, James Salico. As that's a swing and a miss for out number 1.
What song even was it? It was dedicated. It was his walkout song. And it was the clean version because I know that song has a fucking clean version.
Well, you should have said it was a
Six.
walkout.
Zach,
I said it's
awesome.
clean version.
That was awesome.
Oh, yeah, you know that. You know what the C doesn't mean.
Now we see number 6, Zach Zoltolski.
Who the hell does music? Yeah. Looking over here and see that whole fucking family's over there. Oh my god, he's fucking right here, bro.
Well,
I'm not gonna talk to you. That's not your fault. That's his walker song. I'm gonna tell him straight, yeah, it's fucking clean.
So that evens up the count 1-1 here. As that one is fouled off into the netting.
big Willie shirt on.
Excuse me, sir, you're not allowed in there.
So 1 and 2 count now.
We should have staff only on the outside door so they can.
Yeah, literally. I don't understand what makes them think that they can just walk up and
So that high pitch now evens up the count 2 and 2. As that one is inside to now make it a full count here.
That's the only cuss word I'm out. What I often say is it was his walkout song. I can't do anything about what song he picks.
As that is fouled off.
What do I even play rap music when it's on? We literally play country. I play 80% country. When you
Full
start-
count here to Zach. 1 out.
It's 80% country and 20% rap. He's definitely the kind of dad that ties something down and goes, I ain't going nowhere.
As that is in for strike 3, out number 2.
It's something to talk about. Who's up in the bar like 9 years in his wife gets happy and goes down. Listen here. I work all
Number 7, Zach Lyon.
All I want is to have some beers with
So now we see number 7, Zachary Lyon.
and what do you do as soon as I get home? Bitch.
1-0 count.
His wife had a divorce. Yeah.
He probably cares more about his dog than he does his kids.
As that one's inside and almost hits Zach for a 2-0 count.
I just want to put someone in their place where they.
That's in for strike number 1. So 2-1 count. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th.
Who has no superiority over?
I was just like, oh.
As that one's a little low.
What are you doing?
So 3-1 count now.
We're gonna go full count again.
As that one is high for ball 4, so that's going to be a walk.
Now batting number 2, Davey Morgan.
So 2 outs, runner on first. We see number 2, Davey Morgan. As that one's a little low. 1-0 count. As that one is in for strike number 1 to even up the count 1-1.
Oh, Dawn, what is he doing?
Fucking dog fights, dude.
He got his legs stuck.
Jesus, are the right side?
I was a dog crying?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my god. That was some sort of 44 match.
That one's a little high to make it a 2-1 count.
That's not old. Dude, even the players were like,
Every single person right here on these rows turned.
Oh.
oh my god, I feel bad. Yeah, I got his.
That one is a 3-1 count now.
Still suck? No.
I thought it was a puppy, like a smaller dog getting gnawed by that thing.
Dude, so I was a dog fight.
Yeah, me too.
Shit,
That's scary.
oh my god. Come on, come on.
So that makes it a full count now. 2 outs, runner on first. Full count here in the top of the 9th inning in the Porcupines. As that is a walk. Puts runners on first and second. That's in for strike number 1.
I just got scared.
Yeah. Freaked out and pulled it and made it worse. Don't do it.
What do you got food for? You read my milk for it.
So that's down for strike number 2 to make it an 0-2 count.
Oh, bro, too far. Foul ball? Dropped it. Probably went right in his head. Right in his head. That's a decision with food on blast. Yeah.
That one is fouled off to keep it at an 0-2 count. And that's fouled off into the netting. As that's a swing and a miss, and this one belongs to the Porcupines. Pineville Porcupines 9, Clayton Clovers 3. Thank you for joining us for Friday Night Baseball as Porcupines get the win. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, I think it's starting.